Why is meditation so important? This is a very profound question and something that I have thought about for a long time, and something that through years and years of practice, I finally have come to understand. One of the hardest parts about understanding why meditation is so important and so good for you, a lot of it is hard to understand without doing it yourself. But today, I will do my best to explain its benefits and why I think it's so helpful. So, in life, there's so many things that you can do, and doing those things, they all come at different levels of difficulty. And the harder it is to do something, a lot of times, the deeper the reward. But when it comes to meditating, you'd be surprised how difficult it truly is to sit and do nothing. Your mind is so intelligent, and we are our own worst enemies. And it's so powerful that it's hard to control, right? And control is a paradox too, because while you're meditating, you're learning to control your mind while simultaneously learning to let go of the control of your mind, because you really have no control anyways. If you sit with your thoughts, I'd say the vast majority of you don't have a way of, stopping your thoughts, right? You can't make your mind go silent. Where are the thoughts coming from, right? There's only so much you can change by doing. There's only so much you can change about yourself by your own willpower. So meditation helps because it allows grace to work through you. You're allowing space for things to come into your life, but you're also observing yourself, right? Because the quality of your life is, you know, symbolic or synonymous with the quality of your time alone with yourself. Because every day from, you know, your early childhood until the day you die, you are spending time with yourself. Even when you're around other people, you're experiencing your thoughts about the situation and the people you're around, and your feelings, your thoughts and feelings. These are inescapable. Life in and of itself, right, is happening all the time, and so much of it goes taken for granted. There are only so many things you can learn in books. Well, there's a lot of things you can learn in books, but what I'm arguing for is there are certain things that you can only learn through meditation. And with me saying that, then, I can't even tell you a lot of what that is, because, like I'm saying, you can only learn it through meditating, through understanding yourself. You're not going to get it through a video of me or anybody else explaining it to you, or a book you pick up on mindfulness, right? Because now you're just giving yourself more theory. Now, another thing is that it increases your vibrational state. What do I mean by that? It tunes you in more with yourself and what you are, who and what you are, because what are you, right? And you might have beliefs around what you are, or you might have a direct experience of self, because the deeper you go in meditation, the deeper you realize, oh, these thoughts aren't me. They're passing by. I experience the thoughts the same way that I notice the river, the water flowing by me. I see the clouds moving by. And in that same way, I feel my thoughts, moving by. But they're not me. Same as emotions, right? These emotions, I experience the emotion, right? And But that means for me to have an experience of it means it's not me, right? I experience all five of my senses, all the thoughts and feelings. But what am I, right? We get lost in the brain or in the body even, because for me to say it's my body means it pertains to me, means I'm not the body, right? And it's a simple proof. If I lost my hand, I would still be me. We wouldn't say that the hand is me anymore. And same if I went to my elbow, to the rest of my arm. At what point do you dissemble a human being to where what's left, right? And this is what some people would call a soul. Well, we're a soul. But what does that mean to you, right? If it's just another concept of a soul, that you're just thinking about a soul in your head and it's more thoughts, you're still lost in Maya, you're still lost deep in the ego, you're still lost in a story, and you're not connecting because, the word soul ultimately is an arrow pointing at something that's true, but never the truth itself. That is the problem with all words. All words are finite, but your consciousness is infinite. But see, I don't want you to just take me at face value for that. It doesn't help you to believe that that's the case, that, oh, consciousness is infinite. You can experience the infinity of your own consciousness, but that has to happen outside of words. But how do you experience something outside of words or out of concepts when human beings live in concepts the way that fish live in water? Barely any of us have experienced what it's like to experience something outside of a concept or a thought or a narrative. This is how we define intelligence and understanding on so many levels. But thoughts, knowledge in this way is not intelligence. Knowledge and intelligence, different things, right? Because intelligence is not a human thing. The universe is intelligent, right? It's not some dumb box full of molecules. It has a natural intelligence to it, right? The flower, the seed, knows how to blossom, right? Nature knows what to do. The planets that move in their gravitational field, they know how to move, right? Intelligence is not unique to humans. It's a quality of reality, and it's because we are reality. We're not just inside of it. We're not just in reality. We are reality, experiencing itself through itself infinitely, that we are in turn intelligent, because intelligence is our nature, not our nature as human beings. Our nature as nature itself is intelligent, right? The cells in my body know what to do. I don't have to tell it. I don't have to understand it, nor do I pretend to understand all the chemistry and biology and the depths of what is happening here, right? Because the stories will never fully explain reality entirely. So how does this all tie back into meditation? Well, when you're meditating, you are directly experiencing yourself, right? And you're getting deeper and deeper to that core essence of you. But that core essence, again, is experiencing the thoughts and the emotions. But see, when we're constantly distracted by other things, and everything can be a distraction, I don't care how noble or how good what you're doing is. If you're working out, even if you're eating healthy, if you're learning, you're studying, you're going on, whatever this is, you're still not looking inwards. All of this stuff is outward focused. Even when you're focused on your body, this is still an outward thing. When you sit in meditation and you reflect inwards, now you have the opportunity to start seeing yourself clearer and clearer. And you have to grow your attention span, because at first, what seems very simple and peaceful to an experienced meditator, at first is going to feel like hell, especially if you've been running from yourself your entire life. you've been chasing the next dopamine hit and the next high and the next thought, right? You are going to be terrified of just sitting still. But again, you're only hurting yourself by avoiding meditation, because the quality of your life is the quality of the relationship that you have with yourself, right? And to have a quality relationship with yourself is to the degree of which you can sit alone with yourself in your being without a need for stimulation, without a need for food, for entertainment, for a video game, for company, for any sort of entertainment or dopamine hit, right? And as you can move through this energy, you know, the more tame your mind becomes, now you get, you know, bigger and longer periods of silence, deeper silence, deeper silence. But now, see, if you are somebody on the path to enlightenment, you're looking to do enlightenment work, or you don't fully understand what enlightenment is, well, no combination of words is gonna describe that to you. I'm not gonna be able to tell you with words. There's no book you're gonna pick up that's gonna have the right words, that's gonna explain it to you. Does that mean there's no such thing as enlightenment? Well, those would all be beliefs. Whether you believe it, there is, or you believe there isn't, don't you see how that's still a trap of the mind, right? And, you know, my claim here is that you can experience something far beyond the mind. But you can't just believe me. You can't just read that in a book. The only way is to go deeper and deeper within and to face yourself, right? You have to face your inner demons. What are your inner demons? Your addictions, your attachments. You know, we're so attached to our ideas that just our ideas, it's more than an idea. It's your life. Don't you understand that your ego is nothing more than an amalgamation of concepts and thoughts about yourself? Your whole story, your narrative about yourself is what you consider yourself to be. If I asked you, what are you? You would tell me, well, I'm this person of this sex, of this many years old, and I do this and this and this and this. Okay, yeah, that's just the story. That's just the story. And that's what you consider yourself to be. But you're more than a story. You're more than a narrative. You're more than an ego, and you're more than a human being. You're so much more than all of that, but you'll never know. You'll never know, and you'll never get to taste it unless you can go through, you know, the struggle of facing yourself deep enough to see what you would call your soul, your core essence, consciousness, which is the root of everything, not just your humanity, right? But you have to be able to go through it. And, you know, counterintuitively, the hardest thing to do in life is nothing at all. Everything you could do is easier than what I'm saying, because it takes doing nothing, really. You have to surrender entirely to this. And, you know, the cost of something, you know, is equivalent to the value of which it gives you. And this is the hardest thing that a human being can accomplish in life. This is harder than getting a six-pack. This is harder than making $1 million. This is harder than anything you're going to do in your life. This will be the deepest, most profound, but also most rewarding challenge that you could ever face if you're willing to meet the challenge, to face the challenge. If you're willing to face the challenge, well, I'll tell you, not only is your life going to change, your whole notion of life is going to transform. You will be life itself. You will have no limits. You will transcend your fears. You will transcend even your death. You will find what it means to be immortal. You can find it all and more beyond any words or combination of words that I could give you to understand what I'm saying. But see, all that responsibility falls on you. You need to find that for yourself. And this is just scratching the surface of the, you know, the benefits of meditation. Because of course, there are more earthly, benefits to meditation, just in reducing your stress, getting you more present. Um, so many different things that, there's a lot of videos on that. We're not going to go too in depth about that in today's video. And this is something I'm going to be talking about a lot more. And if you guys are on this journey, then I encourage you to like this video. I encourage you to subscribe. I encourage you to follow me. And I invite you to share this journey with me. It has been a profound pleasure of mine to share these insights with you and share my experience with you. I'll be making a video soon talking about my first profound, encounter with true silence, of my first 5-day meditation and how that changed my life. And I've had many since, many 5 and 10-day even meditations that have deepened and deepened my awareness and my consciousness to very deep levels. And to me, this is the juice of life. This is what it's about. This is what makes it all meaningful. Because why are you doing what you're doing? What's the point? If you have a belief that it all ends at some point, it's all over at some point, what is all this running around going to do for you? All this running away from yourself and from these deeper questions, to keep the body alive. And of course, you can't escape that. Survival is important, but a lot of times it can be antithetical to what we're talking about here today. So these are just some of the benefits of meditating. And I love you guys so much. And until next time, stay happy, stay healthy, stay blessed, and stay connected. Peace out, my friends.